When we talk about media objectives, they are dependent on the objectives of the campaign. So, therefore, they can be divided into two categories and two target groups. So, first is the target group objective. Basically, it pertains to whom the message is going, and another is distribution objectives. That means where, when, and how the message is to be delivered. When we talk about target group objectives or media target objectives, they are basically taking care of the message to whom it is to be directed to. So first we must discuss that it must reach the person of the right demographic and psychographic profile. Another is it should be concentrated in the right geographical area where the highest concentration of buyers of the product is likely to be found. Third is it provides the right advertising support to the brand at the right season for reaching the target. Also, it supports the specific creative message chosen for the brand to touch the base with the target at the moment. And lastly, it delivers the greatest reach at the lowest cost per exposure. So every product or brand, it has a different media need. Some brand, same brands, they have many needs at different times. For example, the target profile must be defined with tremendous care, and then the media to reach him or her are chosen carefully. Another is media distribution objectives. It defines when, where, and how often the ad will deliver the message. So this needs to be carefully calibrated to prevent expensive advertising where it will not get result. For instance, when we talk about men's luxury products in daytime serials or children products in the morning television, they will not attract the right audience when the required segment is not at home. Another are the media options. When we talk about media options, there are many media options, and the major and more which are used more frequently, they use structured media. So when we talk about print media incorporates all kind of newspapers or magazines or journals, weeklies, which total up to 50,000 publications, and they reach up to 50% of the population. With the entry of the television, there was a slight shift. So television, when we discuss, there are DTH operators, or there is satellite technology, or there are cables, which is now catering to more than 50% of the population. Radio had earlier declined, and it is now reaching only 20% of the population. But now in recent year, it has been seen that it is gaining a revival because radio has got into the private hands, and there are proper segmentations like of the programs like classical or oldies or only Hindi movie channels, right, which allows the advertisers to narrowcast his segment clearly, right? When we say there are other informal medias which are called below the line, where the available or loosely structured resources are adopted, and some of them which are frequently used are direct mails or exhibitions, cinemas, sales promotion activities, merchandising, point of purchase, public relations, sponsorship, events, internets, SMSs, in-shop displays. So these are frequently used below the line activities. When we talk about media selection and buying, so after the creative work is done, a strong, substantiable and effective media plan is the most important factor for the success of any advertising campaign. So it includes media selection, media mix, and buying of media space and time. It will also include schedule and budget allocation also. Right? So when we say this entire integrated process, it is now an infinitely complex with interactive results which can be surprisingly good or shockingly bad. Right? But however, the sheer volume of money involved in advertising demands that some predictable mechanics are put in place. So to get a handle on the mechanical side of it and assess media effectively or effectiveness, there are certain technical terms which are most frequently used. The first one is the medium. When we say medium, a single form of communication, which is like coding or television. Right? There is a term called media mix. So all the media used in the campaign which is combined together. Another is media vehicle. It is a single program or magazine or radio station. We talk about circulation. So the number of copies sold or distributed by a newspaper or a magazine, it's called circulation. When we say readership, it's the number of people presumed to read each copy. Right? Every copy is read by several people, like in an office or family. There is viewership. This represents the number of people that watch a particular television program for more than 5 minutes. Another is listenership. So the number of people who are listening to a particular program on the radio. Another is reach. Reach refers to the number of people or household exposed to an ad schedule with a particular period. Then comes frequency. It's the number of times a particular ad reaches the same person or family. Gross impression implies the total of all audiences who are covered by media plan. It is inclusive of the number of times they receive the message. Gross rating point, which is GRP, it's the total audience delivery of media schedule. Then comes the space and time buying. So space and time buying is a complex activity where specialist agencies can do, they buy time and space in bulk, which gives them the advantage of wholesale. Right? And advantage of wholesale like discounts and negotiated rates. When we talk about the role of media plan, there are obvious reasons that media work is largely about handling huge amount of numbers which are shifting all the times. So the media planner is constantly juggling all the factors to get the best for his client. So it is the job of the media buyer to keep the media planner informed about the inside information on the day-to-day changes in the readership profile and reach of each medium. Right? Another is new media and direct marketing. When we say in the last 20 years, so the explosion of media has been so startling and overwhelming that advertising industry is trying to figure out as to how to get the best out of the scenario. So what happens, there are products which still have to be advertised and the target still needs to be persuaded to buy the advertised product. On the other hand, there are media costs which are so high now that the advertisers are also looking for new and more cost-effective ways to reach the targets. Newspapers and magazines are now doing what would have been considered absolutely outrageous even 5 years ago. So advertising, which are used to be measured in centimeters, now they are usually in squares or rectangular shape, very sedatively, right? When we talk about direct marketing, so direct marketing, in such a scenario, it is basically a very cheaper and simpler version of sales, which is now very expensive. For ordinary products, making an offer and showing the product on television or internet is almost good as sending a salesman to every home with a sample. But direct marketing is also used in more expensive or industrial products to prepare the grounds for a sales call. There has been a lot of proliferation of media which reach women with disposable income to advertise high and luxury products. They're basically done online and glossy niche magazine. So growth of technology also has paved the way for direct marketing. When we say direct marketing, it is an interactive system of marketing which uses one or more advertising media to affect the measurable response and or transaction at any time. So this differentiates direct marketing from traditional one on 4 specific counts. So when we say it is interactive or one-to-one direct communication between the advertiser and the target, whereas mass communication is directed indiscriminately to everyone who may see the medium, right? Direct marketer can also measure the effectiveness of an offer by processing the responses from each area and each media. It also allows the marketer to test a variety of lists or offers and media to figure out the best combination. Direct marketing also uses a variety of media such as direct mails or newspapers, magazines, television commercials, video cassettes, advertised on televisions and delivered at home on request, right? Finally, direct marketing can be conducted at any location and not necessarily on retail stores or a fixed place of business. Direct marketing is different from direct mail or mail order. In direct mail, it is an advertising media in which the marketer sends an offer to the target through mail in the personal letter or communication package, right? The mail order is a distribution channel where products are sold through a catalog and delivered to the customer over phone. When we talk about most suitable media for direct marketing, so first is direct mail. It is one of the most inexpensive and heavily used media for direct marketing. Though there is a rise in postal charges, but it remains still the favored tool due to its ability for personalization of mail. It is flexible and it is very testable, right? It also allows businesses to target individuals with known credit rating, right? Although mass produced and hopelessly dependent on the accuracy and updating of mailing list database often provided by other organizations, direct mail can still address an individual by name, address and make the letter sound more personal. When we talk about telemarketing, it is a very cost effective tool an urban marketer can make use of. Here what happens, the caller not only makes a direct contact with a potential buyer, he can also make a full and customized presentation of the product or service. What happens, it can be used as one-step selling, which generates opportunities for later sales call with follow-up services and servicing industrial or larger customers. It has drawbacks also. It is more expensive than direct mails. It requires a real caller with excellent selling skill and great patience. It does not have a system to record and store responses. Another is internet. So direct marketing through internet is heavily used and it overcomes many of the drawbacks of telemarketing. So due to the excellent digital photography technology which is now available, it can show very realistic pictures or live demonstration. There are certain legislation over the world about spam and software providers that are working furiously to shut it out completely with advanced technology. Right? So there are major developments in internet communication by way of blogs. Another is print media. So direct marketing can also be done through newspapers and magazines. So there are specific offers which are written in such a way that it appeals to a specific personality with a definite need only and not to all readers. Right? Lastly is television. Television in broadcast or cable, they attract a major part of the budget money on advertising. To run a commercial on TV or the advertiser, they have to buy units of time with range from 15/30 or up to 60 seconds in the length. The combination of sight, sound and motion creates a more dramatic form of advertising, which builds a product's brand image or demonstrates the functions of the product like a car or a motorbike. So these kind in the traditional format, the ads cannot provide the viewer with a lot of information, and so therefore they were only useful for products which are already familiar to the consumer. But in a current scenario, television is no longer a passive entertainment media. Right? It is now the technology which is making it more possible for the viewer to change the channel while the commercials are on. When we talk about focus on advertising tracking, so the focus is basically now on audience which are concerned with tracking. So while media conversions offer marketers more options for tracking, such activity they also raise ethical and legal concerns also. So many customers, they are not pleased to learn that their activities are being monitored when they engage into a media outlet. Another is television viewing. So with the advent of the digitally delivered television, it has allowed cable or telephone provider to track user activity through the set-top boxes which are connected to the subscriber television. Another is television recording. So the days of television videotaping recordings, they are quickly coming to an end, and which are replaced by recording using computer technologies. A digital video recorder can track user recording habits and based on viewers' past activity. When we talk about internet spyware, so downloading entertainment from internet, such as games, videos and softwares, they may contain hidden surprises, that is called spyware. So they are kind of special programs that run in the background of the user's computer, and they regularly forward information over the internet to the spyware company. Another is ad skipping and blocking. Here what happens, the television recording devices, they offer marketers tremendous insight into the viewer's habit and behavior. Now what happens, the DVR is changing how people view television programs by allowing them to watch programming at a time that is most convenient to them. When we talk about changing media choices, so there is a lot of cultural shift which is occurring in respect of how people use media for entertainment, news or information. So many traditional media outlets like newspaper and major commercial television networks, they are being seen as eroded by the emergence of new media outlets. So there are certain examples. One is podcasting audio. So podcasting audio, it involves delivering programming via downloadable online audio that could be listened to on a music player such as Apple's iPad. Another is podcasting video. Here what happens, while audio downloading has been available for some time, the downloading of video to small or handheld devices like cell phones in its infancy. So many television networks are now experimenting with making their programming available for download. Another is RSS feed. RSS feeds are really simple syndication, and it is an internet information distribution technology which allows the news and contents to be delivered instantly to anyone who has signed up for the delivery. Lastly is networked gaming. So while gaming systems have been around for some time, gaming system attached to the internet for group play is relatively new and becoming more practical as more people move to faster internet connection. So this type of setup will soon allow marketers to insert special content such as advertising within gameplay. When we talk about contemporary advertising, so with the change in the media used by the advertiser, advertising itself is changing, and so far as the ads, they try to present a product and make the consumer believe in the big advantage of it. Today what is happening, the advertiser, they try to create certain images around their product which draw a greater attention to the target, to the brands, and make them either switch from other brands or stick to specific brands on account of benefiting from more, right? So today's target, be it young or old, they have tremendous ego and they expect to be pampered at the individual level, and it must be made sure that they get it. So today's advertising industry, it merely reflects this social trend. Two exercises: what are the elements of advertising execution and what are the media for direct marketing? Thank you and have a nice day. Keep learning and relearning.